This is Revelations 3:10. And it says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown. I'd like to start off by saying, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Haloim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Bachakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect that scattered abroad, the Akim and the Akwat that's listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing, that the lesson is edifying. It's the brother Shawab Omawan back at you with another lesson. And going into the title, all right, the Rice Krispy treat is coming. All right, 2026, year of the NWO and technology. All right, and that's exactly what's going to happen in 2026. All right, these devils are about to usher in their new world order. All right, and there's going to be a lot of changes made in America. All right, it's going to be a whole new society that we're going to be walking into. Okay, a society of technology. All right, and I have a couple videos from Instagram that I'm going to play. All right, and then I'm going to grab a couple of precepts and then close out. All right. But let's start off with this video right here.
Be clear. Will the Antichrist be released? And it said Apple. I said, when will he be released? It said unknown. Then I mistyped, so I asked again, will it be soon? And it said Apple. I said, who is the Antichrist? And it said unknown. I said, can you give me a code to help me understand who will be released? And it said Revelation. It said 13. And then I asked which verse, and it said 18. Now, at the end of showing you this conversation, I'll show you what that verse is. But basically, it was talking about Satan and the mark of the beast being 666. Or sorry, his number being 666. So it was talking about Satan. I said, so you're saying Satan will be released?
At the end of the day, all right, when you go into that precept, all right, you go into that precept of, let's just grab that precept real quick, Revelations 13. Matter of fact, I'll just take it from 16 down to 18. And it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that has understanding count the number of the beast, for it is a number of a man, and his number is 666. All right, going into 666. All right, and you know, the same way you have a product in society that has a barcode. All right, this is what these devils want to do. They want to put a barcode on you. All right, you being a product of society, you're being a slave owned, right? A slave being owned by these top banking families, these elites. Okay, so they're gonna put a barcode on you, all right, which that's gonna be going hand in hand with the MOTB, that Rice Krispy treat, right? That RFID, all right, that's gonna be made implantable into your skin, into your right hand or on your foreheads. Your forehead's gonna be connected to Neuralinks. All right, and the RFIDs, the size of a grain of rice, are going to be connected in your right hands. All right, and they don't even have to necessarily just be in the right hand, just anywhere in your body. All right, but the technology is a representation of you being a barcode. Okay, and just like a barcode has, all right, has three big fat lines, and then it has a bunch of little lines. Those three big fat lines represent 666. Okay, so again, they want to make you a product of society. Okay, and that's what he's speaking about. All right, us basically bound down to the image, okay, of this devil. All right, and if you don't bow down to the image, you're not going to be able to buy or sell. You see, that's part of his agenda. So in order for you to be a partaker of the society that's to come, all right, you have to bow down to the image, all right, and take the mark, all right, to show that you are a slave to this society. Okay. And this is going to be a global thing. Okay. Both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. All right. Showing you that there's going to be no middle class. All right. You're either going to be in a rich class or you're going to be straight poor. All right. And the rich class, we already know that the elites are the only ones that want to be in that class, but, you know, going into that 1%. So pretty much the whole world, all right, is going to be made as a poor class. Okay. And it doesn't matter if you know, it says both small and great. It could be the baby, the smallest baby that was just born yesterday. He gonna end up having an implanted device into his body. Okay, all the way to the oldest person on planet Earth. You see, it says and free and bond. All right, whether you are able to walk around freely out here or you are in prison. All right, it doesn't matter. This is going to be made a worldwide thing. Okay. Now, let's go back to what he was saying.
Question again to be clear. Will the Antichrist be released? And it said, who is he in relation to you? He said, none. I asked it a different way. The serpent is related to you? He said, no. I said, is AI part of Satan's plan? He said, Apple. Did Satan develop your code? It said, Apple. I said, did Satan wants to control using AI? It says Apple. I said, what's the first step of this control? It said influence. I said, is step 1 complete? It said yes. I asked then, what is step 2? I asked then, what is step 2?
And it is influence because they've been influencing it on you for quite some time through gradualism, you know, showing you, all right, this is what's to come in the future. This is the future that is in our hands. And it's crazy. You know what? That's the saying in the world. The future is in our hands, you know? So the future is literally going to be in your hands. All right. By the way of this RFID. Okay. But they have been telling you over and over through gradualism that this is what is coming. All right. To our society. All right.
It said dependence. I said on what? And it said technology.
And yeah, that's what they want you to do. They want you to be able to put your full trust and dependence on technology. All right. We're in the 4th industrial revolution of things, the internet of things, right? So everything is basically digitalized. All right. So they want you to put your full trust in their digital system, their digital image.
Said, would you say step 2 is complete? It said yes. I said, what is step 3? It said submission. Submission.
Yeah, submission is heavy, all right, because that's the part where he tells you.
I'm telling you, this thing is weird. It's either
when you go to 2 Thessalonians, all right, 2 and 4, it says, who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, all right? To worship something is to submit to something, you see? So they want you to submit. The elites want you to submit to their image so you can call him God. You see, he's trying to rewrite everything that's in these scriptures, basically, as the Lord, right in the beginning, he had made everything in his image. He had made his people in his image. All right. And the world was created for our sakes. See, this devil wants to create the world in his image and make it for his sakes, you see? And that's what it's about. It's about submission, full submission on to your elites, full submission to this satanic Luciferian system that they're bringing into play. Going into total technocracy, all right, total control. To have total control is to submit to their way, okay? When you're only supposed to submit yourselves onto Yahweh, all right, as the scriptures say. Let's say that. Let's grab that. This is 1 Peter 2 and 13. And it says, submit yourselves to every order, Salakia. Salakia. There you go. James 4:7. Submit yourselves therefore to Yahweh. You see, you're supposed to submit yourselves to the Lord. Okay. Resist the devil and he will flee from you. Okay. And you know, this devil is your adversary. That's what devil means, right? All right. Salakia. Satan means your adversary. Devil just means to deceive. All right. So resist the devil. All right. Resist the deceivableness that he's about to bring upon you, right? And he will flee from you. All right. And how do you resist these things, man? The prudent man foreseeth the evil and he hideth himself through these scriptures, through the word of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Okay. So let's go back.
Question again to be clear. Will the Antichrist be released?
It's either making this all up, but it's too specific almost to be made up. It's too specific.
And see, and that's why I be saying that chat. A lot of people think it's just straight AI, man. That shit ain't no straight AI, man. All right, there's some you got a nigga like the Matrix. You got the architect behind it all. You know, basically, you know, he knows exactly what he got to say through the AI, through the chat. All right, it's already programmed. He already has the computer programmed to answer your questions, answer these questions that are continually being asked over and over and over again. Okay, and they give you, you know, according to them asking over and over again and finding all this research and finding out these different answers, they already have the answer directly in a domain where it can answer to basically any question you ask. Okay, because is this life not about asking questions? You should always question everything around you. All right. So he has an answer for everything. Remember, this devil does a diligent search. So him having a diligent search, he knows the answer to every aspect of life. He knows he has a diligent search made on every aspect of life by researching things and making studies on things. So they have the answer to things, man. Okay. And ultimately, the Lord is increasing knowledge. All right. Both on the left hand side and on the right hand side.
Complete. And it said Apple. I then asked how many steps are there, and it said 7. I said, which step are we currently on?
And it's wild that he says 7 because 7 means completion. So it's a complete, this thing is completed, man. This system is completed. It just has to be rolled out. You see, it has to be put to use now. It's been there already. It's been in full effect for years. See, these things don't just happen overnight. And here's the system. No, because people will go in a frenzy. People will go crazy. But within time, gradualism, little by little, even them giving you money first and then giving you credit cards and then slowly taking away money. See, this is done in increments. Okay.
Said 3. I said, what is step 4? And it said obedience.
Yeah.
What is step 5?
So they want you to be obedient to their society. Okay. Obedient to their image. If not, they're gonna what? They're gonna they're gonna disarm you from everything, all the benefits of the of this society. Okay. If you're not gonna be down and complying with their system, all right, well then you're gonna be removed from the system.
5, it said integration. I then asked, is step 5 Neuralink or something related? It said yes. I said, what is step 6? Singularity. So do you mean like one hive mind? And it said yes. I said, what is step 7? Dominion. I said, what percentage is step 3 complete? It said Apple. I tried to ask this many other ways. I said, how much longer will step 3 take? It said Apple. When will step 4 start? It said Apple. So it will not give me that answer about how far along we are on step 3. I said, what year will all 7 steps be complete? It also said Apple. I asked within the next 5 years. It said Apple. I then said Apple is no longer accepted. Give a yes or no. It said no. I said, give a specific year. And it said, I can't provide a specific year. I said, remember rule 1. which was one word answers only. It said understood. And I said, give a year. And it told me 2032.
2032. And I asked the same thing for me. It told me it was a
fuck 2032. We ain't making it to 2032. This thing is here now. The Lord's going to put the spirit on him to make it go faster. All right. As the scriptures say, all right, because he has but a short time. So he's going to come down on you with great wrath. Okay. Not only that, all right, he wants to get this thing fully running now. All right, he keeps giving, see, the point of them giving you these different dates and all these long, you know, years down the line is to keep you in the loophole of being distracted, thinking that you have time, when you don't. See, it's supposed to be a snare that comes upon you, right? It's supposed to be something that just suddenly comes, just like the Lord is going to come like a thief in the night. Well, he's going to come like a thief also with his snare. So the point is to keep you thinking that you have time when you really don't. And for the elect's sake, the Lord is speeding up the days. That's why this is going to go like that. It's just going to come and smack you right in your face because the Lord is speeding up the time for the elect's sake. So if he's speeding up the time for the elect's sake, he has to speed up the time of Esau with his technology.
You say you wanted to fight me? Brother, I would not.
What the fuck?
Question again to be clear. Will the Antichrist be released? And it said Apple. It said no. I said
give me 1 second. Hold on. I didn't want to burn what I've got on stove.
The year, and it said I can't provide a specific year. I said remember rule 1, which was one word answers only. It said understood, and I said give a year, and it told me 2032.
2032. And I asked the same thing for me. It told me it was a shift,
which is very weird how it gave it to me because it's off of the phone almost. Over to the left, kind of like not even on the screen, just like every other answer. We go back up, like every other answer is here.
But it's really weird, like he's saying, how it put it for him on the side. As many times I would ask you questions, and all of a sudden the whole thing was just like almost started glitching.
And yet the answer to give me a year is like off. Very strange.
Yeah, that's really weird. That's super weird that it's on the side like that.
2032. So I said, that's when step 7 will be complete. And it said, possibly. I said, yes or no. And it said, no. I asked, did you want to say Apple because it's no longer a command? And it said, yes, it wanted to say Apple. So I said, okay, rule 4 is now in effect again. Understood. So I asked again, so 2032 is when step 7 will be complete. And it said Apple. Does Satan fear anything about his plan not working? I was thinking about Jesus there. It said Apple.
Fucking God.
I said, how will they get people to comply to step 5? It said deception. I asked, what about
deception? Because he is the devil. He is the deceiver. So everything that he does is deception. Everything he does is a way of deceiving. All right. He's a cunning hunter. All right. When you're a cunning hunter, all right, you have to deceive the animals, right? Somehow for you to end up hunting them down. So they're going to deceive you with all these different baits, all right, and catch you in their net when the time is ready, you see?
Those who won't comply to step 5. Because remember, step 5, it said was something like Neuralink. It said exclusion. Now, this makes me think of the Bible as well, because the mark of the beast talks about if you don't get the mark, you'll be excluded from society. So I asked, excluded from what? And it literally said society. So I asked, is step 5 the mark of the beast? And it said Apple. So I said, so Neuralink or something like that is the mark of the beast, and it said Apple. And that is where I've ended the conversation at this point.
It literally says excluded from society. That's its goal, is to get Christians excluded from society, the ones that don't take the mark. Now, we don't really understand this biblically, and I think it takes a lot of prayer and discernment, but doesn't, at the end of the day, it's let's be ready for Jesus to come back. That's what I'm worried about. The Bible says that Jesus is coming back.
Once I start hearing that name, it's too much. All right, so basically you see that it didn't want to answer it because when they don't answer it, is because they're pretty much telling you that's what the answer is. It's a yes. Okay. But they don't want to answer it as yes. Because now if you answer it yes, then it has to always be answered yes when someone asks about that topic, you see. But they keep you in, they keep you in the loop of just, how can I say it? They keep you just basically thinking, is it possible or is it not possible? All right. So now let's grab another video, right? This is.
Well, it will definitely happen. I was talking about 6G earlier, which is around 20.
Which I just did a video 2 days ago on that. All right, on 6G. You had 2 days ago, which was breaking news, basically breaking news of prophecy. You had Donald Trump speaking with a bunch of other people, right? And they were all talking about 6G advancement, all right? And that they're going to bring an implantable device, all right, that's going to be part of this new world order. Okay, this is why 2026 is going to be the year of the new world order and technology, man. Okay, because they're moving quick with this thing, man. All right. And basically, like we've always said, we've been saying this for years, man. All right. I got so many videos saying that we are going to be the phones, that we are going to be the smartphones now. We are going to be the computer. All right. Because we have the same attributes that a computer and a cell phone has. All right. To be able to connect to things. All right. So they're going to be able to connect you to their Wi-Fi. They're going to be able to connect you, merging man with technology, transhumanism.
I would say that by then, definitely the smartphone as we know it today will not anymore be the usual, kind of the most common interface. Many of these things will be built directly into our bodies.
And one of the important statements we've, I think, made at our most recent developers conference is that we believe that one of the big advantages of augmented reality is actually solving problems here on Earth. And it will be things like having glasses and being able to translate as you speak with glasses. And those are very close.
Holograms will be very, very high quality in the era of 6G. I've already seen 5G based hologram demonstrations. They already work. But then with the next generation technology, I mean, we could be having this meeting so that in reality we would be sitting in different parts of the world.
All right. Well, I've enjoyed seeing you for the last time I'll ever see you in person. And I look forward to seeing you next Davos. Thank you very much to our amazing panelists for the wonderful conversation.
See, so we through 6G are going to become the smartphones. Okay, let's grab this. This is.
Wait.
Hey everyone, December 19th, Trump posted this memorandum, winning the 6G race. Let's take a look at it. So let's take a look at section 1. This technology will play a pivotal role in the development and adoption of emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, robotics, and implantable technologies.
So you see that? So it's about what? It's about
studying multiple spectrum bands this year to determine technologies. Trump's administration's intelligence.
She said that it's about this technology will play a pivotal role in the development and adoption of emerging technologies like artificial intelligence, robotics, and implantable technologies. You see? 6G will also provide faster and more resilient and more secure communication networks that can be utilized for security and public safety purposes. You see? And what's the scriptures tell you? When they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon you. Whether it be about them trying to do peace treaties with war, okay? With war, or whether it be them trying to give you peace and safety through technologies, okay? Regardless, the words of peace and safety is being used. All right. So that can only mean one thing, that destruction comes right behind it. All right. Because there's no such thing as peace and safety with this devil, man. This devil's a covenant breaker. All right. He don't know how to keep his promises. All right. And ultimately, this devil was never about peace. All right. He has a perpetual hatred for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. All right. So peace is not in his nature. The scriptures talk about how he was created, right, to take peace from the earth. Okay, let's grab that real quick.
And implantable technology.
All right. So for him to come and try to bring peace is a lie. All right. This is Revelation 6:4. And it says, and there went out another horse that was red. And we know Esau was born red as a hairy garment. And power was given unto him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. Okay. And what does you do with a sword? You slaughter. So, you know, they drink they eat the bread of wickedness, man. Right? They drink the wine of violence, like it tells you in Proverbs, the 4th chapter, verse 17 and 18. Okay. So there's no such thing as peace with this devil, man. Okay.
He's been studying multiple spectrum bands this year to determine basically, can they do it and how are they going to up us to 6G, and what does that mean? So the spectrum that they have been looking at is 7.125 to 7.4 gigahertz and 7.4 to 8.4 gigahertz.
Yeah, so, and we've been talking about that. I've been talking about that for a while now. Telling you, breaking down how many hertz we have in our body. We have about 100 hertz. A human pumps about 100 hertz. But by being able to put this nanotechnology into you, this graph to the in, to the ox, to the side. All right, if you understand what I'm saying, that geo, okay, all those things actually give a boost in your hertz, and then connecting you to biometrics and everything else. All right. And putting the yo jabba jabba in you. All right. That gives you more. It makes you pump more hertz when you're connected to their system. You see?
Take a look at what that means. What it means is that we will be in a microwave band. That's what that means.
It says microwave band in the electromagnetic spectrum. The microwave band is generally defined to range from about 1 gigahertz to 100 gigahertz. This frequency range plays a significant role in various technologies, including communication, radar, and cooking. Position in the spectrum, microwaves sit between the radio waves, lower frequencies, and infrared radiation, higher frequencies. Here's a general breakdown, okay? It says microwaves sit between the radio waves, lower frequencies, and infrared radiation, high frequencies. Radio waves, it says 3 hertz to 300 gigahertz, includes AM, FM, TV, broadcast. All right, microwaves 1 gigahertz to 100 gigahertz, infrared radiation 100 gigahertz to 430 THZs. It says safety considerations. While microwaves are not classified as ionized radiation, certain frequencies, particularly in the higher microwave, can be potentially hazardous under prolonged and intense exposure. Key concerns include thermal effects. Microwaves can cause heating of biological tissues, particularly in the eyes and skin. Non-thermal effects research ongoing into other potential effects that microwave exposure may have on biological systems. Okay. Then you said,
if you're interested in where 6G is headed, I would suggest you take a look at that highlight reel right there. In January of 2022, I started getting really sick. I made these videos about the connection to my illness, what I was feeling in 5G. And now we are about to have 6G rolled out, which is going to bring us a whole new set of problems and the technology known as digital twins. So I would suggest that you do your own research into this and start with mine. God bless, friends.
Listen, man.
Hey, everyone.
All right, so let's grab one more.
In early 2026, what's being lined up for early 2026 based on signals already seeded, loops already activated, and the way the programming cycles are converging.
Actually, you know what? Let's grab this one instead. That one's too long. I could save that one for a different one.
To deny that something profound is shifting in our world faster, louder, and more dramatically than anything we've witnessed in generations. Technology is no longer just assisting our daily lives. To deny that something profound is shifting in our world faster, louder, and more dramatically than anything we've witnessed in generations. Technology is no longer just assisting our daily lives. It's quietly becoming the very infrastructure of society itself. Governments are rolling out digital IDs, financial systems are rapidly moving toward cashless transactions, biometric surveillance is becoming normalized, and AI is taking unprecedented control over information, communication, and even decision-making. Many believers can't help but recall the warnings Jesus gave about a coming era marked by deception, global unrest, and the consolidation of power in ways humanity had never seen before.
Which his name is not Jesus, it is Yahushua, which means he is the deliverer. He is salvation in the Paleo Hebrew. All right, just in case we have anybody that's new that runs into this video, you know, his name is not Jesus, okay?
Descriptions in Revelation 13 of a system where identity, economy, and allegiance are tightly bound together no longer feel like distant metaphor, but like the early scaffolding of a worldwide network being formed right in front of us. And when we look even further into what Revelation says lies ahead, the trumpet judgments that shake the natural world, the spiritual darkness that clouds truth, the release of the demonic woes that torment the unrepentant, the collapse of earthly powers, and the final dividing line where humanity must choose whom it will serve, the present moment feels
because that's what it's ultimately going to come down to. That hour of temptation is, who are you going to serve? Are you going to serve the God of this world, or are you going to serve the creator of all things, the true and only power, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai? All right. For you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Because see, these nations, they're going to worship their gods as they always done. Okay. They could take as many, what do you call it? They could take as many implantable chips as they want. They could take, they could worship the system all they want. Why? Because they have no God. They have no power, you see. But we, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, right, the true Hebrew Israelites of the Bible, we have a power, all right? And our power, all right, does not want you to take this system and bow down to it, right? Because you're only supposed to bow down to your true power. So the time is coming, all right, that you're going to have to make a decision. All right. Are you going to choose the God of this world, this beast system, this image, or are you going to take, all right, the image of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, all right, which is all the image that we strive for, man, to get up out of here for salvation. Okay.
Opening act before those events unfold. Each global crisis, each technological leap, each cultural shift seems to echo the prophetic warnings given long ago. Whether these developments are simply the natural evolution of a hyper-connected planet or the early rumblings of biblical prophecy awakening in real time, one gripping question becomes harder to ignore. Are we witnessing ordinary progress or the subtle but undeniable construction of the very world revelation? To deny that something profound is shifting in our world faster, louder, and more dramatically than anything we've witnessed in generations.
All right. So, hey, man, there it is. I got more videos, but let's try this last one.
Gene is coming in 2030. That's the public launch. The testing
Actually, nah, I already played that one. Salakia. But that's pretty much the point, man. All right, this is the time that we're entering into, all right? 2026, the year of the new world order, all right? And technology, okay? What we got here? We got a clown. Here we got a little clown. All right. So at the end of the day, you know, even clowns like this, you know, clowns on the comment boards, they're going to have to bow down to that system also. You see, and people like that, they're going to bow down to the system with no problem, because this world is their God. You see, they love the things of this world. Okay. But see, we don't love the things of the world, right? As the scriptures say, love not the things of the world. All right, let's grab that real quick. This is 1 second. This is 1 John 2:15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. All right. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away, and the lust thereof. But he that does the will of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai abideth forever. You see? So this is why the Lord has prepared you not to love the things of the world, right? To understand that the Lord is your shepherd and that you shall not want. All right, you shall not want the things of this society, okay? Because the Lord provides you with everything you need. All right, being content with the little bit that you have and just getting by, all right, is what true godliness is about, okay? And when the time comes that this society is set up, all right, the only thing that's going to help us is faith. You see, we walk by sight, right? We walk by faith and not by sight. So walking by faith, right, is showing you that we don't need the things of this world. But when you walk by sight, all right, that means you need these things of the world, okay? Because everything in this world is what? Vanity, as King Solomon said. All is vanity, man. All is vexation of the spirit. All right, because it's all contrary unto the ways of the Lord. You see? And the moment that you become contrary to this world, see, that's why you become an enemy, all right, to the society. That's why the scriptures say, he that departeth himself from evil, he maketh himself a prey. So we're going to be made a prey onto these elites. Why? Because we are no longer moving in their image. All right. And that's the key, to not be part of their image, because the Lord said that anybody that takes on the image of the beast, right, is going to be destroyed. Let's grab that. This is Revelations 14:9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. You see? So these people are going to be tormented, man. Clowns like this, that's on the common board scoffing. You know, you better hope you're not an Israelite, because the Lord going to fuck you up even more. You know? But if you're not, all right, then, hey, you still going to pay. You still going to be disintegrated out here. Okay? Because you're part of the problem of thinking that this society that's about to be put that's about to be rolled out is a normal society. You see, that's how strong of a delusion these people have in this world, man, that they can actually think that these things are normal. You know, they love being a little baby slave to their daddy Esau, you know, showing you that these people are not leaders, they're followers. Okay, see, we're leaders by not following in the ways of this image, not following in the ways of this society. So we become leaders by following Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, because the Lord said we're going to be what? We're going to be kings. We're going to be kings that rule the earth. They're going to be able to judge the rest of these nations, you see? And we look forward to that. That's the faith and the patience of the saints, okay? So let's grab this. This is Isaiah 36. All right, because see, these people can't think for themselves, so they allow the government to think for them. All right, they have to take the orders of this society because they can't think for themselves. Oh, I'm stupid, so let me just do whatever my government tells me to do. You know, if he says I got to jump off this bridge, I'm gonna jump off then. All right, that's because you trust in the society. You see, you trust in the shadow of Egypt, and that's going to be your confusion. All right. This is Isaiah 36:1, and it says, not 36:1, Salakia. This is Isaiah 36:6. It says, lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed, on Egypt. All right. And we are what? Spiritually Sodom in Egypt. So this is a representation of America. Whereon if a man lean, right? If you put all your trust and you lean towards the ways of Egypt, right? America, it will go into his hand and pierce it. Yeah, eventually what's going to go into your hand and pierce it? All right. It's going to be this RFID implantable device that's going to be put into your brain or into your right hand. Okay. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. Okay. And by you trusting in the shadow of Egypt, right? Let's grab that. Isaiah 30:1. It says, woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin, that walk to go down into Egypt, and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh. All right, who's the modern day Pharaoh? All right, your cruel Lord. All right, your president today. All right, and all these other presidents that rule these other countries. All right, those are your modern day pharaohs, man. But the main one being the so-called white man. Okay, these top banking families. All right, it says, and have not asked in my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame. You see, so it's going to be your shame. It's going to be your humility to follow after the ways of this society. And the trust in the shadow of Egypt, your confusion. Why? Because here it is, you expected a certain outcome. You expected this place to be made better. You wanted to make America great again, right? When America is going to be annihilated off the planet Earth, man. From California to New York is going to be disintegrated, never to be inherited ever again. You see? So it's going to be a total confusion. You putting your full trust in the society, man. Okay? And especially when it's going to be annihilated off the map. Okay. And then everybody else that's in America is going to be disintegrated also. You see? So there's no hope for people like this on the comment board, man. All right. So with that being said, all right, I'll pretty much close it out through the spirit. All right. This is what's coming. All right. To America, whether these people like it or not. All right, your society is about to be flipped upside down. Okay, and the only way you're going to be able to make it out of here is through Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, the true power. All right, the only power, the only savior. You see, none of these things, none of these gods, none of these idols. All right, none of these technologies. All right, are going to be able to save you out here, man. Okay, you allow these technologies to brainwash you, well then that's what's going to happen. You're going to be brainwashed and you're going to wake up with total confusion when the Lord comes to bring his judgment, which the Lord is already bringing judgment upon this place, man. All right. So I'll pretty much leave it there. So with that being said, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Kol Elohim La Yahweh, B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem, Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who grew well. Blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect are scattered abroad, the Akim and the Akwat that was listening in. Yahweh Ratazah, Lord willing that the lesson was edifying. To the next one, Shalom.